Okay, so after many months of no communication from my dad, after I basically, have cut him out of my life and asked him to please leave me alone, every now and again he sends me helpful things. Like, so he sent me a helpful text message about some crap about bipolar disorder, and he still thinks this is all about mental health. He still thinks that it was basically about how a thing that happens with bipolar disorder is that you think your partner is the enemy, you suddenly turn on them, and that that you despise them and you want to leave. And he's convinced that that's a feature of bipolar disorder. And I've been saying for years, I just want to get out of an abusive relationship from someone who isn't loving, isn't satisfying me emotionally or spiritually or in any kind of level. I just want to live my life according to my own values and my own principles and things that are important to me, and not feel like I'm abused and tortured and threatened and intimidated and harassed and belittled and mocked and undermined and all the rest of the goodness that I've come to enjoy. So anyway, I got this thing from Dad about how this bipolar thing is a thing that happens and causes people to leave their partner and turn on them, and it's going to talk to him for what it's worth. God knows where it'll go. I've given up a long time ago on convincing him of anything of what I've said is not just in my head. I don't know what I've got to do to get my rights to divorce my partner, but here we go, let's try. Let's get the speaker on.
Hello?
Hello?
Yeah, you there, Michael?
I am.
Good. Yeah, how are you, son?
I'm okay, how are you?
Yeah, pretty good. Yeah, we've just been doing a bit of zipping around. Your mum had a podiatrist appointment, and then we had to go and buy a few things from the supermarket. Bloody hot out there.
Oh, yeah?
So we're sitting back with the air conditioning on now, and little Holly was happy to have us back home again, of course. So.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, so did you get all of your stuff okay, and as your container arrived for international shipping?
Yeah, I've still got a couple of small things to grab and tidy up at home, but the container's packed and gone, so that's good.
Good, right. Yeah, and were you happy with the sale of the business?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, no, it's a bit of a relief, I think, for all of us that, that's gone through, and a lot of work leading up to it, of course. I know that you did a lot with the paperwork and stuff, so... Yeah, so, did you enjoy seeing your mum the other day?
I don't know. I mean, I was glad she got a chance to come and see me, but I don't know. I've moved on, I guess, a while ago, Dad. To be fair, so.
Yeah, I know you've made that apparent. So we've got no control over how you feel. So.
Well, you actually could have some control over it, but you don't. So.
Sorry, say that again.
I said you could have some control over how I feel, but you don't seem inclined to take it up. So.
Well, I'm not a doctor, so I can't help you there. So.
Yeah, I actually want to talk to you about that. So you sent me that. So I've been having a really nice time. I'm pretty much almost ready to go. I've only got a couple of things left I've got to square away, right? So I'm actually in quite a good headspace. I'm calm, and I'm, my plans have come to fruition despite huge obstacles and all that. And then you, not a doctor, sends me a thing about bipolar dysphoria or some crap, and how that causes people to leave their partners, and you implore me to read every word of it.
I did.
How do you think that's helpful?
Well, it's a factual account of a condition that's quite common apparently with bipolar sufferers, and it explains a hell of a lot about how you're feeling about Nicole and you know what you've been stating about Nicole and your relationship. Now, you know, you did make, and I was going to follow up, you know, several days later with a couple of other comments, but one of them was that you did make the statement that you believe that your mum and I are complicit in Nicole's abuse. Now, I'm not too sure how you arrived at that conclusion, given that when you had your first episode of bipolar, there had never been even a single word of advice from you that there was any sort of a problem with your relationship with Nicole. There was never a single word of criticism from you directed at Nicole. And so it was only when you had your first episode that you went fully on the attack against her. And that only ceased when, you know, the episode did finally subside, and as you said, you know, you'd been able to do some research yourself, and you came to recognise that yes, indeed, you had been ill, because you had been displaying many of the symptoms that you had read about. So my providing that link to you now is in that vein of useful knowledge and information that's available about the condition that you have. Now, I know you don't acknowledge that you're ill again. I know that you don't believe that you're ill again, because that's what your brain's telling you. But I have told you that that condition basically completely flips your thinking. And that article goes into great detail about how that manifests. And you're not alone, Michael. I mean, there's a lot of people, obviously, who have exactly the same reaction, that people that they loved and lived with for years, all of a sudden they hate. And it's totally illogical, but it's the way your brain's working. And, you know, I have an obligation, I think, to let you know that's the experience of many people with bipolar. Whether you accept it or not, it's entirely up to you. I have no control over that. But the information's there, the knowledge is there. It was a bit of a light bulb moment for us to read that, because it explained very clearly why this relentless hatred that you feel for Nicole is manifesting itself.
You're just wrong though, Dad. You're just wrong.
Why am I wrong?
Because I hate her because she's abusive and she's horrible to me, and she's been an awful person for me for years. And I was never in an episode that was in her head. And she and you and Mum and everyone around me put me in that fucking box when I was just trying to live my life. And it's been relentless, Dad. It's been relentless, and I'm sick. I don't love her. I've been saying it for 5 years. It's not sudden. I'm trying my best to leave. Dad, I was never in an episode, mate. Get the whole bipolar thing out of your head, because it's a red herring.
Why, when you came back from Japan and Europe, did you say, I've had a chance to do some research, and you're right, I was not well?
I've explained this to you, Dad. I've explained this to you because I had no way to get in front of my children ever again unless I accepted Jesus into my life, which was say, yes, Nicole, you're right. Everything you said was right. And lay down and accept Jesus into my life. And I was fucking the whole time. It was just to try and get close to my kids to be part of their life. I've said this. I've said it for years, Dad. I've said it consistently for years. I've recorded it. I've published it. I've got 3 to 5 years of stuff that I've been recording as evidence of the way she treats me and the fact I'm trying to leave her. And I've had proof of it. And nothing will change your mind. But I'm sick of having you jabbing at me saying that me wanting to leave her is about a sickness. It's because I married the wrong woman. We're not compatible anymore. We haven't been for years. We're not on the same page on any way. I have 2 kids that I love, and I can't see them because of her.
Why was there not a single word from you?
I've been saying it for years, Dad. The first illness was depression, right? That was my depression. I was never manic. I was never bipolar. I was never any of the things you idiots think I had. I was literally, that was in her head.
For 5 years. That was 3 years ago, Michael.
Yes, Dad. Yes, Dad, but she has been increasingly hostile and antagonistic and argumentative the whole time. And you know what happened 5 years ago? We bought the business, it increased our stress load about 400%. And so ever since that time, 5 years, it has been a shit show. An absolute shit show. You know it, and you know the stress we were both under. And some of the times when I was flat on my back with depression, I also remember her standing over me, screaming at me, yelling at me, like kicking at me, fucking like yelling at me to get up. So, you know, I know she was desperate, but I've been abused, not just then, by her many times. She's kicked me, she's fucking attacked me, she's tried to fucking grab me, she goes through my mail, she fucking tries to cut up my, she fucks with my finances, she's trying to crush me. You know, all this shit, I'm trying to leave her. And you think it's because I've got something called bipolar. It's ridiculous. You've lost the plot a long time ago. You've lost the plot a long time ago. She's an awful wife, and I can't wait to be out of her life, Dad. And I can't wait to be away from you guys as well, because you insisting that this is in my head because of some illness just disrespects my right to choose my partner in life and who I spend my life. And I'm going to somebody that I love. I'm going to a whole different continent to get that far away from Nicole and you and people like you that just think this is about me being loco. It's got nothing to do with mental health, except for Nicole's.
Words like loco in relation to you, Michael. I've always referred to it as
I don't give a shit. You've tried to put me on my back in hospital and hospitalised, medicated for months of my life. You lobbied for that. And you do it again because you're still retarded. You still think this is about mental health.
You went to the police, and the police did.
What did I go to the police about?
Psychiatrist and concluded that you needed to be hospitalised.
You're a knobhead. I know this, Dad.
Actions that led to your hospitalisation.
You're a knobhead. I went to report assault, and I can still prove it, and I've got more to come on that. So you don't know what you're talking about, you old fool. You are an old fool, and you have completely fucking missed the point. Now, I'm not going to bother talking to you anymore if you're going to just continue to double down. I called you today because I just want you to stop fucking sending me shit about bipolar or whatever thing you've read that says what you think I need to, like, suddenly love Nicole again and realise that I've made a big mistake. Because I'm not fucking making a mistake. I'm not in an episode. I know what I'm doing. I'm making a decision to go and be with someone I love and to leave someone who's abused me for fucking decades. So, you know, all that stuff, I'm just sick of your fucking care and attention, because honestly, you've had so many chances to actually accept that this might not all be in my head, and consider that if she is the argumentative, abusive, hostile, nasty person that I say, that I've had years of torment, and you won't accept it just once.
Michael, you might not remember, but when the first episode occurred, you asked me to listen to 2 hours of recordings in the workshop at the basement.
I remember it, Dad.
I did, and your interpretation of what was said in that 2 hours of recording was completely the reverse of what I was hearing.
I know, Dad.
You were hearing abuse.
Yes.
All I heard was you screaming and shouting at Nicole.
Telling her to go away. Go away, fuck off, leave me alone. Go away, fuck off, leave me alone. Fuck off, go away, leave me alone. That's what I was saying repetitively.
Yeah.
Repetitively, and I'm still saying it to her. Fuck off, leave me alone. Fuck off, leave me alone. Literally, I'm going to live in Africa, Dad, to get away from the hostile, abusive bitch that you fucking love so much and you think is flawless and butter wouldn't melt in her mouth. And there's nothing that she's ever done that could possibly have been abusive to me. She fucking wakes me up in the middle of the night and yells at me. She'll fucking argue the same point for 10 times a day, but over the course of 16 different hours. She'll just fucking harass me and harass me and harass me. And she'll do it because she is not fucking well. She's not herself. She's not the person you think she is. And I've been saying it for years. And you just constantly putting your hands in your ears thinking that I'm bipolar and that if only I just listen to the doctors and take the medicine and this would all be fixed is fucking retarded. And you used to be smarter than that. But you should probably look up dementia and Alzheimer's and fucking like all kinds of fucking like just fixations and delusions, because you've spent all your time looking at bipolar. You're wasting your time. It has got nothing to do with bipolar.
It's got everything to do with bipolar, and you are very unwell, Michael. One day you might recognise that again, as you did in the past. So, you know, it's my obligation as your father to tell you what I believe is truth. You're free to completely ignore that, which you're intent on doing. Just nobody can get through to you, Michael.
What do you mean, nobody? You don't know what you're talking about. You're not involved in my life. You don't understand anything to do with me. You don't talk to me. You haven't talked to me in months. You have no idea what I am interested in, what my life is about. No, because you're a fuckwit. And I'm
well, see,
sorry.
it's that sort of abusive thing. And I mean, you're now an expert at being abusive.
Yeah,
I mean,
Dad.
your vitriol directed at Nicole has been absolutely appalling.
Yes, I
It
know,
is-
Dad,
it
because
is
she's horribly
domestic
abusive to
violence
me.
and it's domestic abuse, and you're responsible for it.
Yeah.
Now, if you think that that's a good thing, if you think that's appropriate behaviour, then you're not thinking clearly or sensibly.
She's abusive to me, Dad, and no one listened. When I
So
explained it
you
cleanly,
being
no
abusive
one
back
listened.
is the response, is it? Is that okay? That makes it okay for you to be abusive back?
Dad, what I've been saying to her is I never want to see her again because she has traumatised me to an inch of my life and she's caused me to have years of fucking torment and I'm done with that woman. That is what I've said. You hear abuse, I'm saying I'm asserting my right to not be around her because she has abused me for years. And I didn't imagine it. It's not in my head. You weren't there. I was there. I remember it all. And I'm fucking done with explaining it to morons. And so, you know, I wish you the best of luck.
Your only response is that everybody else is a moron.
You are, because you're wrong and you don't know what you're talking about. You do not know what you're talking about. You have not met my new partner, have you? You haven't spoken to her. You don't know anything about her. You don't know about my future.
What you're talking about, I've been talking to her constantly for the last bloody
My
several months.
new partner. My new partner.
I've seen the videos. I've seen the videos.
What does that tell you, Dad? You're an expert now on her as well, and how my relationship with her is.
I didn't mention her at all.
Well, it's relevant.
The equation at all.
It's part of the picture. It's relevant.
It's not relevant to the discussion we've just had about whether you're ill or not. I mean, Rose is not responsible for your state of mind.
What the hell are you talking about? I'm saying I'm in love with a woman, Dad. I don't love Nicole and I haven't for years, and I've met someone who I'm deeply in love with and I'm going to live with her.
What happened last time when you were ill? You fell in love with a woman in the mental health unit.
So what?
There's a pattern of behaviour.
I still... No, okay, you want to talk about that? I still love that woman. She's still one of my very best friends, and we'll be friends forever. We're you weren't there. You've never met her. You don't know anything about our relationship. You don't know anything about what you're talking about because you're talking out your ass. You've never met that. What do you mean pattern? What, I run away from my wife to get some freedom and then I meet someone else that I actually get...
You suddenly hate your wife. You suddenly are attracted to any other female who's...
It's not any other female, you knobhead. You've never met the people you're talking about. You don't know how they've enriched my life. Having met them has given me some relief, and they're guardian angels, the people I'm talking about, these pattern of like every time I tell Nicole to fuck off and leave her. Yes, I have fallen in love both those times. I still love both those people. They still both love me. So I don't know what your point is. You've never met them. You weren't there. You don't know what we've shared together. You don't know what you're talking about because you don't know me and you don't know what you weren't there. You think you know what you're talking about. You've never met my partner Rose because she is my partner. I'm very much in love with her. I would move to any country where she happened to be. She really likes the country where she is, and she's got family there, and we're going to make a nice life.
Look, I truly wish you well, and I do hope that she's the person that you believe she is, and I hope that you have a happy life with her. I mean, I certainly want that for you. All of us want that for you. But, you know, if things don't pan out the way that you expect them to, and if there's a problem, we just want you to know that despite how you may feel, that we're here for you.
Dad,
that we are your family.
I've had a problem for years and I've been asking for help with that problem and you've done fucking squat. I have asked you repeatedly. I've told you that the way she treats me is abusive and horrible and I can't do it anymore. A number of times I can post the link to it back to you if you like. I've published some of these conversations. I've told you this before. Your head is so far in the sand, you don't accept that there's any truth. So it's not about anything to do with bipolar. Forget bipolar, forget you even heard the term. I'm not manic, I just want to leave an abusive wife and I'm done with her. And I've done with her to the point I'm leaving to a whole other continent. If that's partly because the woman that I love lives in another continent, okay? So try and wrap your head around the fact that I'm making an informed adult decision on who I want to cohabitate with and who I want to spend my life with.
You recall that when you went before the mental health tribunal...
Oh, fuck this again.
Yeah, okay, just bear with me. The conclusion of the evidence that you provided and the other information that the tribunal had to hand was that not one, not two, not three, but four independent psychiatrists all diagnosed you as being bipolar.
None of them could see a symptom, Dad. I've got all the notes. I've got all the shit they write up. They redacted half of it. I've asked for unredacted shit. I can prove what you said is false. I can prove that their assumptions that they formed were based on your false statements. I can prove all this, and I'm still going to. You crazy, stupid old man. Stop banging on about it. You made the wrong fucking call all that time ago, and you're still wrong. You're all wrong, Dad. Dad, I hate Nicole now to the point where I never want to see her again. Do you think there's any drug in the world I can take? Do you think there's any drug I can take or anything a doctor can do that's going to get it to the point where we're going to live happily ever after? True or false? Like, it's as simple as that. Do you think any drug from here can make Nicole and I live happily ever after at our house with our kids?
Michael, no, your marriage is stuffed. It's completely had it. She doesn't want to be with you.
She's doing everything she can to slow me down. She's making it very hard to get away from it.
We don't expect the marriage to be resurrected. It's completely dead, and it'll never be resurrected.
I'm not sick.
None of us expect that.
I'm not sick. I'm moving to a free future where I'm actually able to be with someone I love and live a life that's meaningful to me. And you and everyone around here I'm done with. I'm sick of the doubt because I've lived the way she's spoken to me. I've lived the way she's treated me. She's kicked me. She's punched at me. She's ripped on my fucking clothes. She just goes through my fucking mail. She steals she's fucking done all kinds of fucking untoward illegal shit that is like the definition of abuse. Coercive control is her. She is that woman. She's like obsessed with me. She won't let me go. She's doing everything she can to make life difficult. Every time I talk to her, she's the most toxic thing I've ever come across, and I'm doing everything I can to extricate myself from her and emancipate myself from this bullshit. And if you still think after all this you will, I know you'll go to your grave feeling that you were right and I was wrong, and I'm sorry, I lived it, I remember it. So I remember what I've gone through, and you weren't there. You weren't at my house at 2 o'clock in the morning when I'm 4 hours into a fucking argument where she's threatening everything again for the 6th time that week about the same conversation we had 4 times already that day. You weren't there.
I don't believe it.
I know you don't believe it, you muppet. You weren't there. You have no ability to understand. You weren't there, and you have no, it's not illogical. She's fucking got problems. Do you want to listen to some tapes? I can send you some links, Dad. You won't. Of course you won't click it.
I've never heard anything. In the 2 hours
I've recorded them. No, I've recorded thousands of hours, Dad. Thousands of hours of shit. So, you know.
Oh, I know you have, and you've spread it over the bloody internet. Thanks very much for that.
Okay.
That's really considerate of our privacy.
You've let me languish in abuse, Dad. You have supported her to stand over me and trample all my rights with some fucking fabricated bullshit in her head about me needing to be medicated. And you backed it up and you fucked me over for years. And I kind of wish now that I hadn't actually fucking called you today and I just left you to wonder how the fuck I am. But please, can you leave me alone and I don't want to be any part of your life. I don't want you reaching out to me. I don't want you fucking letting me know you love me or any fucking meaningless shit like that, because both of you, Mum and Dad, have never accepted that anything I've said could be even a tiny bit true. And if it's a tiny bit true, whether it could be completely true, and the fact that I've lived with her fucking like nasty fucking abuse.
That she gets angry at times, and
it's not just anger. It's a psychotic rage spiral that goes for days, weeks, months.
I don't accept that
you weren't there. You weren't there. Weren't there.
I don't have to be. I can use logic and common sense.
You're a moron. Like, take this out of the conversation today. You're an old fool and you're not as smart as you used to be.
Yeah, thanks very much.
I'm serious. You fucked up. You're still wrong.
University degree, though.
Okay, good on. In what? Fucking bullshit.
I was a lieutenant in the army. So,
yeah, okay, cool.
Yeah,
what have you done recently? What do you use your brain for recently? Because you've never engaged at once on this whole issue. You know women can abuse men. You know Nicole's got a temper. You know she has problems with stress and anger management. You know all this shit, theoretically, but you've never lived it.
She was prepared to consider that she maybe her
she can't consider shit, Dad. You've
never been prepared to consider that seriously.
Because I've been abused, mate. When you're getting kicked in the guts, when you're actually getting kicked kicked in your ribs, Dad, when you're lying on your back and someone's kicking you in the ribs?
Rubbish. I think she nudged you with
Fuck off,
her
you weren't
foot
there.
on one occasion.
You
Google,
weren't there.
that's
She's
what she
assaulted
said.
me
She
multiple
nudged you.
times.
She nudged you with her foot
I
because
just
she was
gave her a quick
concerned for
kick
you,
in the
and
arse,
you
you
were
know.
catatonic on the floor.
I was not catatonic. I was lying on the floor. I was there.
Well,
I was there completely just minding my own business, and she kicked me. And that's not the only
it's
time.
hardly
There's a
normal
bunch.
behaviour, is it, that you're lying on the floor and curled up in a ball?
So you kick someone. If you see someone lying on the floor, your reaction is to kick them, and then yell at them. You know why she did that, Dad? Because she had thought that two of my staff that were in that room with me were going to molest me because I'm so irresistible that they would take advantage of me in my drunken state. I'm like, this is the most fucking absurd thing. It was never in anyone's fucking mind in any reality. She's gone off a fucking rocker because she's assumed that there's monkey business going on. That's exactly why she apologised to me later for having kicked me in the ribs. But she's also, like, that's not anywhere near the only time she's assaulted me physically. She's assaulted me psychologically days, every fucking day, hours, for fucking years. She's fucking done all kinds of shit that's abusive.
Stuff that is scrawled over the bloody garage walls. Is that normal behaviour, Michael?
Again, she talked over me for hours, and I went on a vow of silence because...
What a well person does. They go and scroll stuff, stop talking at me, stop yelling at me, stop blah blah, all over the walls of their garage. Does that sound like normal, balanced?
So what? So let me ask you a question, right? So you've been with your partner for a long time, my mum, right? Let's say she lost a gear in her head, and she just asked you 28 times a day why you fucked everything and why everything's ruined. She just kept on asking you and asking you and asking you. It didn't matter what you were doing, whether you were fucking mowing the lawn or whether you were trying to make some fucking lasagna for later or walk the dog. She's just like, you're fucked and everything's ruined. You're fucked and everything's ruined. And she just says it 24 hours a day. And she does that for a couple of years of your life, right? So when that's going on, right, and like you might be just going, fuck, I just want to walk the dog. Fuck, I just want to make some food. I just want to do this. And she just keeps on coming at you going, fuck, you're a dickhead, everything's ruined. Fuck, you're a dickhead, everything's ruined. Imagine that for like 5 years. Like, that's what I've fucking lived through, because she's fucking, ever since we got that business, the stress of that fucking nearly killed both of us psychologically. It wasn't just me that went down for the count in that fucking early phase. Like, she might have seemed like she had her shit together, but when I was dead on my back, she'd already decided I was going to be manic when I got up. Because just like your dad, she reckons you went manic. She was convinced you went manic. She heard stories. She doesn't fucking know any details about them. She doesn't know what she's talking about. But she heard you went manic, fucking did some weird shit, listened to music late at night and got your fucking ear pierced and dyed your hair fucking faggy blonde and fucking got really upset when everyone fucking said your hair looked fucking gay. You did all this stuff, and I'm looking at it going, is that the fucking criteria for fucking mania? What, because you wanted to get a fucking earring and dye your hair? Like, it's not really fucking, it's not evidence of gayness or mania or anything. You fucking did. You had a clip-on fucking earring, I think.
I had a couple of blonde patches put in my hair because I was celebrating retiring from the public service. But,
yeah, so Nicole heard all that and then became obsessed that I was going to become manic when I got out of fucking depression. Because she heard you became a maniac. And so anything I did from that point on was manic. Didn't matter what I was doing. And it's still the same. I'm telling you as clearly as I can, my wife's abusive and I've tried to leave her for years, and I wish I didn't have to. I did love her one day, but I do not love her now, and I haven't for years, and I need to get the fuck away from her. And here's the kicker, I am in love with someone else. And you might think that's because I've got bipolar, but it's not true. It's not true.
Sorry, what's not true?
It's got nothing to do with my mental health. It's got to do with actually...
I didn't mention your mental health. I just said I'm hoping that, that the relationship is everything that you're hoping it's going to be, and that you're happy. I mean, at the end of the day, any decent parent, there's only one thing they want for their children, and that is for them to be happy. And your mother and I, that's all that we want for you.
Dad...
in all honesty,
Dad,
Michael,
you and Mum were mostly good parents in that you didn't actively ruin the early years of my life. But you are very much like, if I'd come to you and said the parish priest was touching me, and you just ignored it and said that's bullshit, it didn't happen, that's exactly how you two have been. So for me, I'm sorry, you're not good parents because I asked you
I have to
clearly for help
reiterate.
for something that is truthfully happening to me, and you've
I have to
ignored it.
reiterate that up until 3 years ago, when you had your first ill health episode, you had not said a single word at any time about any problem, difficulty, or stress in your relationship.
When did we have in-depth conversations about anything, Dad? When we catch up, you just tell us what the latest price is on bacon at Aldi and the fuckwits that fucking the plumbing company that didn't fucking do the whole job, and you just fucking rabbit on about shit. You actually don't know me, and you haven't known me for probably decades.
Like a normal conversation, Michael. Is that a sin? Is it to have normal conversation?
No, I'm saying you don't know me, Dad.
Analyse you every time we sat down at a barbecue.
I'm saying you don't know me.
Yeah, well, explain why you were undergoing all of this harassment and stress that you never mentioned a single word to your parents saying, oh, things aren't going well with Nicole, or, well, I've got a few problems in our relationship. Why would you have not mentioned that ever?
Okay.
If it was so difficult and so traumatic, why would you have never mentioned it?
All right. It's real simple. Shit got worse over time. Like, it got, like, in our early years, she was very rarely fucking rip shit out of me. Very rarely. And then, like, as we got into, like, later, like, a few years later, she'd occasionally rip shit into me. And then, like, as we had kids and fucking, I don't know, like, it got to the point where every menstrual cycle, at least, she'd rip shit into me. And then it got to 2 weeks out of every cycle, she'd rip shit into me. And then it got to, like, almost every day of every cycle, she'd rip shit into me. And then it got over and over the years, like, it's got to the point where there's no fucking love in our marriage. There's no, like, I'm fucking nowhere near her priority list of shit that's important because she just sits in her office and works. And so whenever I see her, she's ripping shit into me for something. So every time I had to go...
mention any of that to us? Any reference whatsoever?
Because I'm the frog in the pond, right?
How is that our fault? That we're complicit in the abuse, because we did not know about it.
I told you about it before I went to hospital.
You never demonstrated that there was any problem whatsoever.
I've been telling you about it since December 2022. I told you about it since before I went to hospital. I told you and Mum and everyone else about it when I was in hospital.
You didn't tell us of anything before you went to hospital, Michael.
I absolutely did. I went and met you. Remember that time we met at the bar?
It's when you were bipolar and we were trying to get you...
No, when I was extremely stressed because my wife was attacking me for 10 hours a day. And I was asking my dad for what the fuck do I do here advice, because she was in a rage loop where she just attacked me day in, day out, and about, Mikey, you're not well, Mikey, you're not well. Didn't matter what I did, I was like, I was not well. If I just went and bought some plants, manic.
So in the years before that, why was there nothing said by you to us?
I've already explained it on this call. If you think about it back, right, the massive stressful event in our life that fucking upended everything was our purchasing that business. And then we went through COVID, right? And then all our fucking safety net disappeared. Our comfortable like buffer of money just evaporated. So we've been walking that tightrope for 5 years. It's been extremely stressful. You'll notice she's obsessed with money. She's obsessed with money. She's obsessed with the idea of going bankrupt. And she has not ever been able to grit her teeth and realise we're on a tightrope walk. And that's what I've been able to do. Is like when I fucking fell over those years ago, I've ever since then been able to walk that tightrope walk and know that if we still just keep walking the tightrope, we're okay. She can't. She's convinced we're fucked. She's convinced that I'm fucked forever. She's convinced we're bankrupt and it's because of me, because I fucked everything. And so that 5 years, it got worse and worse and worse. And the stress points would build. We'd have moments where we like kind of would get ahead. And then we'd have moments where like big bills had come in or the government had fuck us right over in some fucking tax bullshit, where we would be very close to the edge. And so we've been walking that for 5 years. It's been real stressful. And she can't handle it. She can't handle it. She can't handle it. And she can't conceptualise any of it. She doesn't understand how to manage it. The same reason you and her tried to put me like on a bloody as a ward of the state the first time so you could close the company. She has no idea how to do it. So yeah, I'm glad we sold it now. But you say, why not before? It's because when we didn't have the stress of that business, then like the muggings that I would get were like usually like fucking less far between. Like it might be a couple of months before she'd like, rip shit into me for something.
There was no such thing as our attempt to have you recognised as a ward of this state.
You sent me documentation about. You sent me documentation about.
Michael, when you were depressed, you were worried worried that you were going to be thrown in jail.
I did. You threw me in jail, you knobheads. You put me in what is a
I'm
jail. You
saying
think it's a
before
hospital? It's a
you were
mental jail.
hospitalised, Michael, you were really petrified. This is when you were just depressed, not bipolar. You were really concerned that, you were going to be put in jail.
Yeah, and you did it, you muppets.
And we assured you that couldn't and wouldn't happen.
You did it.
Because there was nothing illegal. I'm not talking about hospital.
It's the same thing, Dad.
Jail.
It's the same thing.
This is for business people who practice business when they're insolvent. And it's a criminal offence. It's not a health offence.
You're a knobhead. You don't even know what you're talking about. So this thing, you get on Google and you come up with this plan of action that was to sink me and skewer everything. You wanted me medicated on my back for as long as it took to get that company closed. I saw all the shit you sent. I was awake through it all.
We wanted you to take medication, full stop.
Yeah, and
that's what the doctors wanted you to do. And you just refused to. You were happy to push bloody marijuana into your face and alcohol, but you wouldn't take medication that would actually help your brain instead of hinder it. So
you don't know what you're talking about.
I know exactly what I'm talking about. And bloody marijuana is notorious for fucking up people's brain function.
What's your excuse then? You've never smoked it. What's your excuse, Dad? Because you've never taken it. What's your excuse for your brain not working?
I don't have to take it. I know what the scientists and the medical
What's your
health
excuse for why your brain doesn't work anymore, was my question. What's your excuse for why your brain doesn't work anymore?
Yeah, well, you can use abuse as a defence, Michael, but it's not working.
I'm not abusing. I'm asking you a question.
You're just avoiding the fact that you've chosen to take a substance that's really deleteriously affected the operation of your brain.
You have no idea what you're talking about.
The longer you continue to abuse it, I mean,
so you think it made me imagine like years of abuse? Can I ask a question? Because you're just rabbiting on about shit you do not understand. You're not qualified to talk about. But can I ask a question then? So do you think my use of marijuana has caused me to hallucinate years of aggressive, hostile behaviour from my wife? Do you think it's caused me to imagine all that in my head? Is that part of my illness in your brain?
A major contributor, and the Mental Health Tribunal said that you had substance-induced psychosis.
Yeah, because I heard what you and fucking Nicole said. It's like a circle jerk, where they're talking what, all they said is, the wife's worried, the dad's worried, the cops were involved, the psychiatrists are here, it's okay. You're all a circle jerk, just everyone looking at each other in the eye while you've got someone else's penis in your hand, and you're just jerking it going, oh, well, everyone says that, it must be bipolar, right? Even though all their observations, they didn't see anything that they actually said.
Hundreds of cases.
No, and you know how they described me, Dad, in the literature? They would say things like, it's an atypical presentation of mania where the symptoms that they would normally expect to be displayed by someone weren't actually displayed. So, like they couldn't see what you and Nicole were saying. They just couldn't. And they did it for weeks on end. But every time I would say no to their drugs is another tick against you. And every time you would do shit like ring them and fucking tell them I'd assaulted Nicole, when you do shit like that just, again, that's another tick where they're like, okay, we really need this guy to take drugs.
And said,
I've got the document, Dad.
Nicole when he's released so that she knows what to
expect.
Cheers. That was all I said. And
cheers. Thanks. Again, you hadn't seen me in weeks, and you're intervening in affairs after I'd said, please do not interfere in my affairs. I mean it.
We've totally left your affairs untouched this time round at your request. Because we knew that you had a lot of trauma from the other hospitalisation.
You're giving me trauma now. Hang on, your denial of reality gives me trauma continuously.
Wish that we not do anything to try and get you assistance this time round. So we've just had to sit on our hands, which has been hard to do.
Thank Christ you didn't break any laws this time to lock me up.
You obviously feel, and your wish for us not to intervene or interfere in your affairs, but it's been pretty difficult to do that because...
That's why I need to get away from you. That's why I need to get away to Africa from people like you, because you thinking you're doing the right thing to get me help is going to fuck my life completely again. You do not realise what you are talking about. You are like a fucking...
If we didn't care less about you, we would just...
Okay, so what would you rather have, Dad? Would you rather have me on my back in a cell in Woden on multiple fucking different kinds of drugs for the next couple of years of my life? That's option A, right? That's yours and Nicole's option. That's
to
yours
try
and
and
Nicole's option that you still like wish you could do, except I've said please don't. Right? That's option. Dad's option for Michael's life. Michael's option for Michael's life is I'm going to go to the woman I love with what fucking
you
possessions I
know,
have
it's
that
not
make
my
sense to me.
option for your life.
No, it is
What
because you
we felt
deny
we
my
had to
rights
do,
to choose my
just
partner
hang
and
on,
choose my
Michael,
life
just
course.
give me a little bit of space. We did what we did the first time round because A, your health and safety. B, you had a running business with 35 staff or whatever.
So
It was
hard to run it from in
it
the
was their
hospital.
livelihoods. It was the solvency of the business that was at stake. So we couldn't just ignore what was happening. For that reason, you know, we took when you it was your actions that resulted in you going into hospital, but we did take action to keep you in hospital until such time as you took the medication that the doctors were requiring you to take, and to then give it enough time to have a therapeutic effect. So we did all of that for that reason. This next time round, we acknowledge and we regret the amount of trauma that you're clearly still experiencing from that first hospitalisation. We know you're incredibly frightened of the prospect of being hospitalised again, and we acknowledge and respect that. We agreed very early in the piece, all of us, that there was no way that we were going to do anything in relation to having you hospitalised. You made clear what your trauma was about that. So yeah, we had to make the very difficult decision very early that we weren't going to do anything that would cause you to be hospitalised. I did ring ACT Mental Health twice. They didn't even tell you. They don't even ask you the person's name because I think Privacy Act stuff. But I just talked about the situation and I said what we were doing. Namely, we were trying to let you know that we were here to support you, to assist you as we could, that we still loved you, but that we weren't going to do anything about getting you hospitalised. And both times the person said you're doing exactly what you should be doing. So on that basis, you know, we haven't done anything.
Yeah, but if you said something slightly different, if you said we're worried about him, he's making threats about his wife, then they would go, well, actually, we need to get him, you know, we'll get an ambulance and some police go just talk to him, make sure he's okay. That's how it works. So, you know, I'm glad you didn't take action, but the fact you're even talking to those fuckwits could have landed me in a box for the rest of my natural life.
Well, no,
So
it
please,
doesn't,
please, please stop interfering with my life. I don't want any help that you can provide. I'd like my money when your mum passed goes straight to my kids, but I don't need any assistance. I would prefer you not to contact me. I'm sick of your interventions have seriously changed the course of my life.
This time round, Michael,
You just said you spoke to mental health services and just asked them what they think you should do. You know, because if they'd said, "Oh, look, that actually sounds quite dangerous for your wife and for his ex-wife and for his children," and so we actually are compelled at this point to call the police, and the PACER team will be around, and you know, it's okay. Every time I drive past the police car, I'm sorry,
they didn't even ask.
They're smarter than you are, Dad.
Beg your pardon?
They're smarter than you are.
Well, I don't know how you can conclude that. But
I'm
anyway,
conclude that the calls to those kind of things are logged and they've got a data matching, Dad. So when you call and you're already known to them, you've already called them about me, you've sent them documents about me, I dare say that they were able to figure that out without you telling them my name.
No, that's completely wrong because of the
It's
way
not,
the
mate.
Privacy Act works. They're shit scared to bloody do anything.
The Privacy Act saved my life because they were able to push back on you trying to tell the minister that they should suspend the Privacy Act for the greater good. If she hadn't told you sorry, we're not doing that, I'd be fucked. So I'm glad that sometimes the Privacy Act applies, but all that shit, all your privacy and your consent and your human rights, they all get suspended when you're in that hospital. So you think it's a hospital, that's why I think it's a jail, because as soon as you get there, they're like, well, your right to consent, gone. Your right to leave this place, gone. Your right to choose where you live, gone. Your right to maybe have a job outside, gone. Your right, your right to have a family and a life and a fucking reputation, gone. All that shit, just gone.
All you had to do was take the medication.
No, I didn't need medication, you knobhead. I needed.
And you refused it until you realised that unless you complied, you weren't getting out of there anytime soon.
Because I was raped, basically, Dad. You guys raped me with medication. You raped me with medication.
It was your choice.
It was not my choice.
You could have taken the medication on day one and you would have been out of there in 2 weeks.
I know, but it wouldn't help me with the fact I'd been assaulted by my wife. And it wouldn't have helped me with the fact that she was in a psychotic rage spiral 4 days and weeks that was causing our life to fall apart. It didn't help me with any of that. And you guys ignoring the fact that this is all happening, it's not imagined.
None of that was real.
It is all real. It is all real.
It is not real.
You don't know, you weren't there, and you won't watch any of the stuff. You're so ill-informed. I can't believe that you think you're informed on any of this. You weren't there. You don't know. You don't know her. You don't know me. You don't know what I lived through.
Those recordings was totally wrong.
You're...
all that I heard was you
okay.
ranting and raving, screaming and raging.
Let me just pick on one short video then. Can I ask you? Can you one short video from that week before I got sent to hospital, right? One of the things I played to you, right, is about 10 or 11 minutes of me repetitively asking her to fuck off and leave me alone. Now, if a stranger came to you and they're in your space and they're yelling at you and they're blocking you and they're not allowing you to walk around, and you say, hey, can you give me some room? And they don't, you go, hey, I want you to give me some space. How many times do you tell them, if they're being aggressive and they're yelling at you, how many times do you give them before you're like, enough is enough? And I did not touch that woman because I refused. Because she's standing over me, yelling at me, Dad. She's standing over me, starting a fight with me first thing in the morning. She's like locking me. She's blocking me in the ensuite, yelling at me, and I'm like refusing to touch her and hurt her. But that means she's just there berating me for hours. And you say it's in my head, and I'm saying I'm sorry, it's not. And I've lived with it for years. And you're just like still in your floating around in your fucking dreamland where this is all in my head. Like, what a bizarre dream. What a bizarrely specific delusion that just my wife is attacking me all the time and I don't like the way she talks to me. And that I'm trying to say that I'm trying to leave her. You know, Dad, this last episode, as you say, right, this last time, the date that she claims she knew that I was in an episode was just the latest time I told her to fuck off and go away and I'm leaving you and I'm never coming back. And that's after weeks and weeks and weeks of me telling her, if you don't fucking stop talking at me and yelling at me this way and treating me like shit, fucking day in, day out, I'm going. And when I finally went, she's like surprised, she was shocked. She's like, I can't believe it's come to this. And she claims now that's the day she believes she knew I was bipolar. So her, the supposed expert, I'd been recording her for fucking weeks and weeks at that stage because I could not stand the way she was talking to me. I could not stand the fact she'd just argue the same shit over and over and over and over and over again, and I've only released the tip of the iceberg. And you claim to know what you're talking about. You just don't. So, you know, you just I think I'm pretty much done talking to you.
Yeah, okay. Just let me say, the point of that article that I sent you, the link to, is... This is a known occurrence, what you're experiencing, and it's I don't know how many bipolar cases this occurs where there's hatred of the spouse, but it is a not uncommon thing. So you know that's the fact that this occurs in a certain number of people who are bipolar. As far as we're concerned, it's very clear that it's occurred with you. And I thought it might give you some clarity over what's happening, what has happened. That was the only intention. And I knew there was a good chance that you'd just ignore it and throw it out the window, as you have consistently with advice that you're not well. But at the end of the day, we do wish you well. We'll always love you. You're always our son, even if you don't want to be or acknowledge us. If you need help, we're here to provide it. And I will never turn you away, and I'll never turn my back on you. So I wish you and Rose good health and a lovely life in Uganda. Do you know what the work supplies like there in terms of how difficult it is to find work? Or hello?
Well, I'm listening, Dad. I just like again, you have no idea what my plans are there. I don't really
Yeah, no, look, I'm not trying to wheedle information out of you. I just wondered, it was just an ordinary question of what's it like in terms of the job market there. I mean, I imagine there might be quite a lot of openings for somebody with your skills and experience, and I think most of them speak English, don't they? So maybe your English language skills are not going to be as highly valued as they would be in some areas, but
English isn't like my main skill set.
yeah, I know.
Like I can barely
Yeah,
speak it without offending people. So
yeah, no,
I can't even
I
say
just wondered.
I can't even say something simple like my wife abuses me and I need help and be understood. So like Dad, like I know you're job obsessed. Everyone's job obsessed. Everyone thinks I'm crazy for going to Africa, but I'm going there to live a good, healthy life. Like,
Yeah, I think it's more concern, Michael. I mean, people just concerned for you. I mean, there's a
no
shitload
one's,
of people who are concerned for you and want the best for you.
none of whom have helped
And
actually with my
we
actual
all hope that
concern.
it's going to work out. And I mean, it could be a wonderful start to the next chapter of your life, and we really hope it is. And you can do cool shit there, like go on safaris and stuff. But yeah, we really do hope that it works out for you, because at this point, there's nothing that we can do to assist you and your future life. That's in your hands, and
You could
yeah,
have
we
though.
really do hope that it works out well for
You
you.
still could have. Like, unfortunately, your brain is so set in sand that my reality could be true. That
Yeah, my
we
concern
could
for
still
you
be
doesn't
part of
have
each
to
other's
involve
lives.
you
Except
abusing Meg. But
I'm just over it. Like, I'm just over the doubt because, like, honestly, like,
we're not talking about that now.
intellectually,
I'm just talking about your future and our hopes that you have a happy life and that things work out well for you.
yeah. But I could have had a happy life here if you'd helped me at any point, perhaps.
Well, we didn't know about it, and I've
No, I've
already
been
said
saying
that
it for
very clearly.
years.
You never ever told us about difficulties until you were diagnosed as ill, and then we've got a recurrence. So,
It's like, Dad.
that's the reality that we've accepted and addressed.
But it's
So
not.
don't put it on us.
It's not
I'm
reality
not
though. It's
accepting
like
that
there's a
we're
stamp on my
responsible
head.
for
It's
your
like there's a
illness.
stamp on my head that's in my head that says bipolar, and that's all you see. You don't hear anything. You don't use your brain anymore. You don't engage intellectually with what I'm saying. So like you just wishing me best for the future. Again, it's hollow because you don't understand where I am. Mum said to me like she was like worried that I won't be safe there, and I'm like looked at her and said, Mum, I've been telling everyone I'm not safe here, and I'm not safe here now. And she looked at me blankly like you're probably looking at me now just going, well, that's because it's all in your head. And I'm like, no,
Yeah,
it's
well,
not. It's just not. It's just not. And it's just not. So I've been saying I'm not safe here. And I might not be safe where I go. I don't know. Like, I've never been there. But I'm prepared to take my chances with the
yeah,
jungle,
that's
with the
fine.
lions, with the hippos, with the rhinos, with the fucking all of it, with fucking war in the region and like instability and a whole fucking like history of genocide, all of that, because no one here has listened to me when I've said I'm not safe here. No one. Not you, not Mum, no one. So,
Yeah, well,
look, I am going to
okay.
make a good future, but I do mean it.
I
You
hope
guys,
you
I
do.
don't
I
need
really
any
do.
more help, please.
Yeah. Well, yeah, okay, but we're not going to cease being your parents, and we'll always care. We'll always have a regard for you, and we'll always wonder how you're going.
Well, you could
And
find out if you want to be part of my life, but if you just like want to put your head in the sand and just continue to deny my lived experience and reality, then it's going to be hard for us to find something where it doesn't raise some level of resentment because
well, we're looking forward, and I think you need to as well.
I will.
We can't change everything before this conversation. But we should just look forward and hope that everything is, productive. I mean, yes, there'll be speed humps and bumps. Everybody gets them. Nobody has a completely smooth run in life. But by and large, we're hoping the best for you, and we really want the best for you. Should you ever need assistance, even though you're saying now you don't want it, and I understand where you're coming from with that. Nevertheless, should it prove that you do need it, the offer will always stand. So
It's when someone says that you can always ask for help, and you say, "Hey, I did ask for help like a bunch of times, and you did nothing." It's like, like it's just meaningless. Like, and
I mean, we couldn't annul your marriage, Michael. I mean, that wasn't within
I
our
can't
power.
even do it right yet because no one will help. No one will. Anyone who
You've got
supports
to be separated for 12 months.
Yeah, and I ran away from her in December 2022, and I published a whole bunch of shit about it. It's all publicly available, and we could both agree on that. This, like, let's drag it out and make sure I come out of this episode. Like, that's bullshit, and that's economic fucking, like, making me a hostage to her, like, basically dragging her heels on everything. So, like, again, anyone who, like, supports, like, the position that this has anything to do with my mental health, I'm sorry, you continue to damage me, and you say, "Oh, we're always here," and wish you the best. It's like, well, fuck, like you really have stymied me so many ways, and
we've done nothing, in
you've
this
done
last
nothing to
episode,
help.
we've done nothing to interfere with.
So
whatever
okay,
you've
so
chosen
how's
to
about
do,
this? So
Michael,
you say about we've done nothing. Did you know that when my father-in-law Michael Hayes passed away recently, the man that I actually love probably like a father, and that I had huge respect and care for, when he passed, no one from my family told me, not a single soul. And so it was only days later, a friend broke the news to me, and he was kind of shocked. He had to be the guy because everyone assumed someone else had told me what's
Michael,
going on.
you've got to take into account the fact that you've put a shitload of stuff on YouTube that many people have watched, including a lot of members of the Hayes family, because a couple of them came up to us at the wake and sort of said, "Oh, how's Michael going?" They knew all about it. And Michael, in terms of the Hayes family, you were not welcome.
I understand that.
Funeral. You were not welcome at the funeral. That's the reality.
I understand that, and I'm not surprised by that. But no one told me that he'd passed. There's a difference between.
That was part of the equation that they didn't particularly think that you had a right to know.
Yeah, and so what's my YouTube channel saying repeatedly? It's saying Nicole Bergerson attacks me, Michael Bergerson, and I want out. And that's what my whole channel is about. So of course they're like, "Oh, he's attacking Nicole." The point of the channel is I need to emancipate myself from her and you and everyone else who thinks medicine and me being in a box is the answer to our marital problems, because it's not.
How do you think that's going down with the Hayes extended family? All of your verbal abuse, and it is verbal abuse. I mean, you've attacked the shit out of her, Nicole, and even talked about your done sex life and how she's not good at doing blowjobs.
True.
I mean, that's appalling, Michael. It's such personal information. I mean, how dare you put stuff like that out in the public domain to the 16,000 bloody BASO Facebook people? I mean,
that didn't go out. That particular one didn't go out to that group, and I think you don't really know what you're talking about. So again, how many times should I get kicked in the teeth by this woman, and say, "Please stop it, I'm fucking done with being kicked in the teeth"? How many times is appropriate before I do things like expose that shit, Dad? Because me explaining it calmly to people for years didn't help. Me going to the police to report the assault didn't help. Me trying to tell everyone the simple truth that she's abusive and she's got problems and she's not her normal self and that I can't deal with it anymore and I need help and I need out. That is my whole message. So if they look at that and go, "Oh, Michael's a cunt because look, he's attacking our beautiful Nicole," it's like, the beautiful Nicole you think is beautiful Nicole, one day you get no witnesses in the scene and just us at home, she's a different human, and she always has been. And no one who's ignored it is helping anyway, because my kids have to deal with the fact that she's not properly right in the head. And again, you guys look, you see calm Nicole, she can hold her shit together. I thought she spoke well at Dad's service. I watched the live stream. I knew I didn't want to go there in a million years because I knew I would upset people as if I'm going to go there. But I thought it was quite disrespectful that no one would even tell me that he'd passed. I believe that to me, for a man that I loved and they know that he loved me, and even no matter what happened in the fucking final stages, again, all I was trying to say is his little girl needs help. I wasn't trying to shit on it ever. The fact that I love her is the only reason I've had raised any of this, because otherwise, and my kids, otherwise I would have just disappeared. I wouldn't have raised any of it. But because I don't accept that my kids have to fucking live a life growing up with that psycho bitch, and I don't accept that I'm going to lose all my shit because of that psycho bitch, you know, because of that, and because I keep saying, I'm sorry, I'm not taking this shit, I've been abused and I have rights, because I've put my foot down on that repetitively. Like, you go, oh, suddenly you're saying this. It's like, I've been saying it for years. My story hasn't changed. And I'm going to continue to say it because I've still, injustice has been done. And I'm not doing it to attack anyone, but injustice has been done and I'm jack of it.
And Michael, how do you think you putting scores of videos on YouTube with really attacking statements about Nicole, you know, really abusive statements, how do you think that's interpreted by people who are watching those YouTube videos?
In a lot of ways. And a lot of the time they're interpreting what they already think when they start watching it. And, you know, you ask why, what it's done. What it's done is it's converted many people to understand where I'm coming from and what I'm saying is true.
Well,
Where there's no element of doubt, because the things that she does to me are illegal, they are abusive, they are in legislation as offences and assaultive behaviours. She has done many assaultive things to me, and I can prove it, and some of it's very easy to prove. And, you know, so you say that I make assaultive statements, I say things like, I never want to see you again, and you should never want to see me again either, because you terrify me and you have tortured me, and I've been saying it repeatedly. I've raised a YouTube channel. I've like put it all publicly because I'm like, I'm sorry, I never wanted to release any of this shit. But me just trying to explain it to people got me nowhere. It got me fucked up in jail.
To most people that you are not well.
You don't. Most people don't know me. You don't know me, Dad. You don't know me.
That's not a normal thing to do. You don't. People don't.
Have you ever? So has Nana? Has Nana ever fucking like?
Videos.
Does Nana poke you with a?
About another person that person is not well.
Does Nana poke you with a fucking like a hot pointer every night when you're trying to sleep? Does she wake you up with like, I don't know, should you grab your fucking balls and just like rip them like every day? Does she do that ever?
Michael, that's just ridiculous.
It's not, Dad.
If that was happening, why wouldn't you have just said, I want a divorce because you're a psycho bitch? Why wouldn't you have done that?
I have been trying to say that actually for like years now.
What stopped you?
The fact that people like you and her,
walked out at any moment.
the fact,
You never had to put up with a second
I have
of that.
worked out. I walked out overseas, if you didn't recall. But the fact is,
when
Dad,
you were unwell,
the fact is, no, because I had to get away from her.
Before that.
Dad, the fact is, any moron like you or her or anyone else just has to call those police. Even right now, you could call them right after this call and say, I'm worried about my son. He's got the bipolars. You think I'm ill now. I'm not ill, but you could tell them that I'm ill. You could tell them that I'm not off the meds. You can tell them that I'm smoking cannabis. And you could tell them that I refuse to accept any help. And you could say how worried I am, and you're worried about my family and my kids. And those people, their checklist is they come get me and they take me to hospital. And I've lived with that with her, that threat hanging over my head for years. And it's a fear because it's a realistic scenario. It's a scenario I've lived under as a hostage in my own life.
I know Nicole told you that she wasn't going to do anything.
She tells me lots of stuff that she then changes her mind when she's in a ballistic rage cycle, because she will fucking burn everything to the ground when she's angry. She does not stop until she's gone full psycho and the whole tears and box and dice and fucking throw every toy out of the cot. This is how she is. You've never had that conversation with her because you don't know her.
Look, Michael, we're just going over the same ground.
Well, it's the same. It's the same ground.
On a note of care and concern
Oh,
for
yeah.
you, which is the note that I do want to finish the conversation on. We do love you, even if you don't believe that, and we do want the best for you and Rose. We really do hope that you have a wonderful future life together. We would love to hear from you eventually, if you're of a mind to, want to have any contact with us, even if it's just a bloody Christmas card with no sender's address or whatever. So, please believe us that we do have your interests at heart, and I know you've got your views on how that's translated, but that's the way it is with us, and you're our firstborn. You'll always be extra special because of that, and we wish you the very best, son. You still there?
Yeah.
So yeah, look, thanks for ringing me. I didn't really expect you to get in touch, even though we've covered a lot of ground, and I know you're not happy with a lot of what I've said. Nevertheless, I'm pleased to have spoken to you. It may be the last time in my life that I get to speak to you. I'm 73 now. I think I've got another 10 years or so in me at least. But yeah, then it'll be gone. And this is just a tough part of our life, I guess. And we're just hoping that things go well for you. We really do want that for you and Rose. So.
I'm taking
Okay,
a book.
so-
I should tell you before I break. So I did recover some treasures from my house, and I'm taking Pop's binoculars, and I found the book you did of Nana.
Yeah, right, nice.
The
the one that Rosemary
Rosemary
put together
model,
about Nana.
Yeah, the pink cover
the
one.
pinkish cover.
Yeah.
No, I was really pleased to hear that you got some things that you think are special that you were going to take with you. Very pleased to hear that. So, have you still got any of the rocks that I gave you, the polychrome jasper rocks?
No, I'm not taking any of those. They're still
None
down
of those,
upstairs at the house.
None of those appeal to you? Yeah, fair enough. And so you've got a bunch of guitars, I heard. Are you going to display them in your new place, or?
Yeah, eventually.
Right. I mean, are they guitars that you could sell if you wanted to, or are you just going to keep them as decorators?
Bit of both. Some of them are junk guitars signed by cool people, and some of them are
Okay
guitars. Yeah, it's just a big spag of crap.
Right, I guess some of the people that have signed them, they wouldn't be terribly well known in Uganda, but...
Uganda's close to the rest of the world. It's closer than here.
Yeah, I'm sure it is. I mean, the world's a smaller place now because of the internet and modern communications. So
yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I think the internet's a lot better there than here.
hey, Axie and Zara did a great job at the Fresh Funk concert on Saturday night. Your kids are seriously good at dancing, Michael. I mean, they were both excellent. I was pretty much blown away by how good Zara was. And Axie, I don't know whether you're aware, but Axel's one of the strongest of the boys in his group, to the point where a lot of the time he's put in the front row in their various performances, and he was going crook a while back. He said, "Yeah, the others are your dumb bums sort of thing. They keep on looking at him to see what they should be doing." So,
yeah, he needs someone a bit more advanced to chase to get him to not be the guy showing the other guys how to do it. I think, but
yeah, and I
he's
mean,
doing good.
He'll progress to that, as he moves up the age ranks and stuff. And I mean, yeah, just your mum and I were sort of talking about how mysterious it is with some of these really good dancers. There's one guy in particular who used to wear his hair in a bun. You might remember seeing him on the stage. He's one of the older guys, and anyway, he's had his hair cut now, but your mum mentioned how she couldn't take her eyes off him when he was on stage. She said she tried to look at other people, but she had to keep looking back at him because he's so good. And I was doing the same, but I was trying to work out what the difference was between how he was dancing and, say, the guys either side of him were dancing, or the females or whatever around him were dancing, and I couldn't really determine any difference. But there's just something in the crispness of the movements or something that sets these really good dancers apart. And I reckon there's a good chance that both Zara and Axel will make that grade if that's what they choose to do. They might lose interest after a while. Many younger people do, but but no, it's fascinating, that sort of intangible thing that just makes that person extra special. It was a good night. Peter and Suzanne came along as well, because Izzy is now doing the dancing, as you know, and that was the first concert that they'd attended, and yeah, they really enjoyed it. And Izzy's doing well. You know, she's not at the level that your two are yet, but she's only been doing it for a year. So, yeah, no, it was good, and that was something that we enjoyed. Anyway, son, you got any parting words? Probably taken up enough of your time.
Well, I mean, I'm not
I'm
dying.
happy to keep talking if you want to, but you know.
Nah, I'm good.
You're good. Okay, well, I love you, son, even though you mightn't believe it, but I do, and I always will. I will never give up on you.
All right.
Okay, son, all the best.
Bye.
Bye then.